Alright, yeah, I will continue to do the part two. So the first I want to apologize, like delay the part two for a few days because I've been very busy these few days. But anyways, yeah, before I start the part two, which is question 7, I just want to clarify something which I make a little bit mistake in this question, because in the question 7 here, I think I did a carrier mistake here. Yeah, because what? Because when here is minus, right? When this is minus x squared plus 10 and then minus. Okay, so from here I will get positive 2x. Let me see, where do I get the carrier mistake? Because I realized I did a carrier mistake here. Minus minus, this one become positive, so 2x plus 4. Oh yeah, I multiply wrongly, I think so. Okay, because this is negative x, right? If negative x I multiply x, I get negative x squared. But when negative x I multiply negative 2, I will get positive 2 here. So if I get a positive 2 here, when I minus, I should get negative 2x plus 4. So this is the reason why this symbol should be negative 2. So negative 2 multiply x, you get negative 2x, and then negative 2 multiply negative 2, you get positive 4. So therefore, this one should be negative here. So that means I should be able to factorize it completely if that one is a negative 2, because previously I said it's a no root. Yeah, and then I realized I make a mistake here. So this one should be in order to get 1x, should be 5x and 2x. And then this one should be 2 and 1. So should be negative and positive. Yeah. Okay, so this, it asked me to factorize this one, so I should be able to factorize like this. Okay, make a little bit of mistake here. Okay, let's move on to the question 7. Okay, given that a power of 7 equals to b, where a and b are positive constant, find log AB. Alright, it's quite simple, so you should understand about this law. If log AB equals to c, b is basically equals to a power of c. Okay, because of this one, now what I want to do is I actually work backwards. I from this thing want to go back to the log. Alright, so you see how I do for this one is, since I know a power of 7 equals to b, so I can move my base to the other side. It will become the base of log a, and then the 7 will drop down, become a number. So log AB equals to 7. Okay, so the answer for this one is just 7, just 1 mark. Alright, just in case you have no idea what is happening here, basically this one is one of the rule of log. So if you have no idea, I'm going to teach you another way. This way is just slightly longer, but I find it actually can be understand for some student. Alright, so okay, let's say you do not know about this thing. Okay, so what you can do over here is, okay, because I want to get the log AB, right? So it's very makes sense that I add the log A for both sides. Okay, so here will be a power of 7. Then now I can get the log AB, right? And then log rule tells us that power we can move in front. Then we will actually get 7. Log A will equals to 1. Then you can still get the same answer. 7 multiplied 1 is still 7. Alright, so you will get 7. Alright, this is another way. And yeah, maybe this method will be easier for some students if you don't remember about this way. Alright, so okay, so let's move on to the second one. Alright, so for this one, log BA, so I know log BA basically equals to 1 over log AB, so I should know this one. This is answer is 1 over 7. Alright, so if you do not know, so basically it's a form it's a law of changing base. Okay, if you have log AB, it's actually equals to 1 over log BA. Okay, this is the rule of changing base. Okay, one of the rule of change base. Alright, so if you do not know about this rule, so what you can do is, you change the base by yourself. Okay, now you have log BA, right? So what I want to do is, now I want to change, now you have log AB. according to the question. I mean according to the question. Okay, so now I want to get log BA, right? So what I will do is I will chain base to base B. Okay, chain base rule tell us that the B I should write on the top, and then the base I have to write at the bottom. This is how we chain base, right? So therefore log BB equals to 1. Log BA, we just got it in the part 1, which is 7. Then you will get 1 over 7. Okay, I hope this 1 mark question won't take you too long to understand it. Alright, so okay, let's move on to the part B here. Alright, so this one basically is the same thing. If I move the log base 81 to the other side, it becomes 81 negative 1 over 4. Alright, power negative means what? Power negative means 1 over. I mean, this is what I said, power negative means 1 over. So 81 power of 1 over 4. So power of 1 over 4 basically means 4th root. But if you don't understand that, what you can do is you change 81. You know 81 is 3 power of 4. And then multiply 1 over 4, you simplify. So answer is just 1 over 3. Alright, it's not too hard. So the next one is the indices. So indices 32, 4 and 16 all is the power of 2. Yes, so because 2 power of 5 I know equal to 32, 2 power of 4 equals to 16, and 2 power of 2 equal to 4. So I will change everything in terms of 2. So what I will do here is, this is 2 power of 5, right? 5 I will multiply into the both of it. So it's 5x squared minus 5 divided by 2 power of 2. So it should be 2x squared. Okay, equals to 2 power of 4. Alright, and then we actually understand that divide means minus in the power, isn't it? So this one will be 5x minus 2x squared. Minus because it's divide. This divide over here means minus here. Alright, just in case you don't know, this is 2 power of 4. When both sides have 2 already, then you can actually simplify. You can say that, okay, I will just minus 2x squared minus 5x squared minus 2x squared. I have 3x squared minus 5 equals to 4. Then 3x squared will equals to, move the negative 5 to the other side, equals to 9. Then x squared equals to 3. Yeah, so then x will equals to square root positive negative 3. Am I doing any carry mistake here? Okay, let me check. It should be like that. Yeah, so you will get both answers, positive and negative 3. Yeah. Oh no, what am I thinking? I mean, yeah, you should get positive negative 3, square root positive negative 3, right? Yeah. I guess this is the answer. Yeah, I just worry maybe somehow I just accidentally make the carry mistake here. Right, so okay, so solution to these questions by accurate drawing is not acceptable. So you know you cannot draw on some graph paper to actually get the answer. You have to show the working. Alright, so the first thing is ask you to find the equations of the line AB. So find the equation. Whenever we need to find equation, we need to know we need two information, right? First we need gradient, second we need the y-intercept. Alright, so but okay, don't say about y-intercept, it's a bit confusing. So I know that first I will need the gradient, second I will need the one coordinates on the line. I will need a one coordinate on the line. Alright, so first thing is, of course I will find the gradient, because AB, I have the AB here, so I will use the y minus y, and then I will use the x minus x. Right, so we will be 8 minus 0, and then I will start with the negative 8 minus 4. Alright, so my gradient basically should be 8 over negative 12. Simplified, divide 4 for both should be 2 over negative 3. Okay, or you can say negative 2 over 3. So if I have the gradient already, I will need to have one of the coordinate passing by my AB. So you can choose A or B, it doesn't matter. Let's say I choose this one, because number smaller, it seems easier. Substitute into the formula, this one, y minus y1 equals to m x minus x1. Okay, this is the formula to form the equation. So I have y minus, my y here will be 0, my m is negative 2 over 3, x will minus, my x here will be 4. Alright, so then I will solve this equation. Basically y will equals to negative 2 over 3x, and then plus 8 over 3. Right, this one should be my equation. So yeah, you just let your coordinate here become the x1 and y1. Then you know you basically sub into these two locations. Alright. So find the length of AB. Length, we just use the distance formula. So it should be x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. Just in case if you can't remember about distance formula. So distance formula basically is a Pythagoras. A square plus b square, right? So you assume the whole x2 minus, because the purpose of x2 minus x1 here is to find a, and then purpose of y2 minus y1 here is to find b. If you assume the whole thing is a, you can realize this is square root of a square plus b square. So it's just the Pythagoras formula. Alright. So what I will do next is I will just substitute the thing into it. So it should be square root of x minus x. So I will say negative 8 minus 4 square plus y minus y, 8 minus 0 square. Alright, so I will just simplify this one. I should be square root of 12 is 144 plus 64. Yeah, it's 144 plus 64. Should be 208. So yeah, you can change it into decimal if you want. So, or you can leave it in the 413, right? Or the decimal lah. So like 14.4222. Right, so I'll move on to the next one. Okay, so the point C is 0,7, D is the midpoint of AB, and then show the angle is right angle. ADC is a right angle. So we want to show the is right angle. Right angle only formula. We only have one formula which is related to the perpendicular, which is right angle. So which is m1 times m2 equals to -1. Okay, you should know about this thing. So what I want to do over here is I need to find a gradient of AD. I need to find the gradient of AD. Then I will find a gradient for DC. So if gradient of AD multiply gradient of DC, I will get 90 degree. Then that means I mean the gradient of AD multiply gradient of DC, I will get -1. That means it is right angle. Alright, so the first thing is I need to find coordinate D first. So D is the midpoint of AB. Then it should be quite good here. So what's its coordinate A and B? Let me write it down. Not enough space here. A should be -8, B will be 40. Okay, you should know how to find midpoint. Alright, so it's just like x plus x divided by 2, comma y plus y over 2. Alright, this is -8, -4, so it should be -2. This one should be 4. Alright, this is coordinate D. Okay, so the next thing I will do is I want to find the gradient of AD. So gradient of AD, use a gradient formula. So I will use the y minus y over x. My x over here is -8, right? So x, oops, y minus y, what am I doing? Y minus y over x minus x. So this one basically is, okay, yeah, you can do like this, but let us do all together lah, because it's just 3 marks. I don't want to waste so much time. So I know gradient of AD multiplies the gradient of DC should equals to -1. So I'm going to show over here. So then I will sub the gradient straight away from here. It will save me a little bit of time. So AD, I focus on coordinate A and D. So it will be 8 minus 4 over -8 minus -2, which will be +2. Alright, so and then this one will be DC. I will focus coordinate on D. So I will say D minus the coordinate C. C will be 7. Alright, over the -2 minus 0. Alright, so this one should be 2 over -6. This one should be -3 over -2. Alright, so I didn't get -1. Something wrong in my calculation again. Okay. -8 plus 4 divided by 2. This one should be -4 divided by 2. -2. 8 plus 4. 8 plus 0 divided by 2 is 4. Yeah, which is correct. So AD will be A plus coordinate D, okay, gradient of AD, sorry. So it will be 8 minus 4, which is 4, which is, oh, sorry, 8 minus 4 is 4. What's wrong with my calculation? Alright, okay, now everything makes sense already. So this one you can just like expand it, which is negative 12 over 12, which is negative 1. If I get a negative 1, then I will write Sean. Okay, if you want a more detail, you can say, okay, since gradient AD multiplied with gradient DC equals to negative 1, therefore ADC is a right angle triangle. It's a right angle. Yeah, just write right angle should be good. Alright, so if you want to write some explanation, you can always do that. Alright, so okay, so the point E is such that AE equals to 4 and negative 7, and then find the position vector of E. So position vector of E basically you know is mean OE. Alright, so we'll use the vector thing. So AO plus OE equals to AE. Alright, you should know about this thing. So 4 and negative 7. So coordinate A is basically is negative 8A. So I know OA is mean coordinate A. It will be negative 8A. Must start with the O, right? So if you want to write the coordinate A into here, because this is position vector of A. So therefore you know AO and OA is not the same, right? They are, you should add a negative for it, because AO will equals to negative OA. So it should equals to negative 8, so you will get 8 negative 8. Alright, so I hope you get it. So this one should be 8 and negative 8 plus OE, which is position vector of E, equals to 4 and negative 7. This one you just move around. So OE basically you will get 4 and negative 7 minus 8 negative 8. So you should get negative 4 and 1. Alright, just one mark. Of course you can do the coordinate things if you want, but I prefer vector pattern. Yeah, you can draw out the coordinate and see how actually it's moved. Alright, so okay, let me just explain also lah, because I just teach you more different way to solving it, because some students just don't like vector, and then they will just give up this 1 mark. So okay, so AE, we know the coordinate A is negative 8A. So let me just assume this one is A, which is the negative 8A. Okay, A to E, basically he moved 4 to the right and negative 7 to the bottom. So you have something like 4 unit here and 7 unit, because negative 7 mean moving down, right? You should know about this one. You should learn about translation in your transformation in your extended math. Alright, so you just assume you have negative 8. So if I move 4 unit to the right hand side, this one is a coordinate E, right? So your coordinate E should be negative 8. You move 4 units, so you should get negative 4. This is number line, alright? So you should, and then you should understand. So 8 here, you move down 7 unit, it should be 1. Alright, you will get your answer like this also. Alright, so okay, let's go to this one. Show that there's parallelogram. So in order to show the parallelogram, actually you have 2 ways. One of the way I like to use is show both of them have the same midpoint if they are parallelogram. Okay, so the midpoint of, let's say, A, B, C, D, the midpoint of AC should equals to the midpoint of BD. Right, this is one of the way I like to use. Or some student you can actually there's few way to actually show, or you can show that the gradient of AD will equals to the gradient of BC. Then you need to show that the gradient of AB will equals to the gradient of DC. I think just need to do one of it, because just two mark question. We won't spend too much time. Alright, the distant one I think is the longest one, but just depend which one you like. You need to show the distance of AB will equals to the distance of DC, because they are they are same distance. Alright, or you can show that distance of AD will equals to the distance of, for distance I think you need to show O, that then really makes sense. So AD will equals to BC. Okay, let us try use the midpoint. Alright, so let me just make it less confusing to write out all the coordinate. A here will be negative 8, 8. B here will be 0, 4, 4, 0, it's not mistaken. C here will be, I can't remember all the coordinate, 4, 0. So C will be 0, 7. And coordinate D, which is, we just found negative 2, 4. Okay, so it's a bit messy here. Let me change color. Too many information here. Okay, so let's try about midpoint, see whether it's true or not. So the midpoint of this is something. Okay, first thing is I need to arrange according to this one, and I realize I don't need coordinate D, so I will just erase the B. Okay, I'm going to rearrange everything because they asked for AC, so C should be 7, 0, and B will be 4, 0, and E is the coordinate we just found, which is negative 4, 1. Okay, because we have to use whatever the question gives us, so I just double confirm my coordinate. Yeah, and I realized C is wrong again. Yeah, this is something good when you always double confirm. This is 0, 7. Alright, so now I can do the midpoint things. Alright, so I will find the midpoint of, okay, just jump A to B. Okay, midpoint of AB. So AB should be negative 8 plus 4, which is negative 2, which we already found the midpoint of AB, which is negative 2, 4. Alright, then I will do the midpoint, right? Short form, midpoint of jump CE. So C is 0 plus negative 4 divided by 2, which is negative 2, and 7 plus 1, which is 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Alright, so since they are the same, then I will write Sean. Okay, because I realize midpoint is easier and shortest. Right, so let's just move on to the question number 9 here. So a function f is defined by this one. Alright, this is function. Alright, so he asks you to do this one into the completing the square form. Alright, so I will just do this one very quick. So I hope you already know how to do the completing the square. So it's fx, basically you will get equals to, I factorize out the 2 from the first 2 term here, so I will get x squared minus 3x, alright, plus 5. Alright, then what I will do next is I will copy the first term, I will copy the second term, and then I will plus something square, I will minus something square. Alright, then I close bracket, plus 5. Because in math, whatever you plus, you have to minus it back, because we have to make sure the equation is balanced. Alright, so the something over here is basically is BE divided by 2, so it will be negative 3 over 2. It will be negative 3 over 2, because negative 3 divided by 2. Then the next step is combine the first 3 term into something bracket square, take the first and last. Okay, so it will be x minus 3 over 2. Because what? After you expand this one, you will get exactly this 3 term. If you do not believe me, you can do and try and error. I mean, you can go to do the testing by yourself. This one will be negative 9 over 4 plus 5. And then the next step, I will just multiply the 2 into both of it. So, of course, when I say multiply the 2 into the first term, a lot of students will multiply into the bracket. No, you just leave it outside. Alright, so this one will be minus 9 over 2 plus 5. 5, I will change it into 10 over 2. Alright, so the next one should be my final answer. 10 over 2 minus this one, I will get positive 1 over 2. Alright, so live in this pattern, this exactly. So from here, at least after you did the complement square, at least you should know this one will give you your minimum coordinate, and your minimum coordinate, which is 3 over 2 and half. Alright, at least you should get some information. How do I get this minimum? Because A value is positive. Alright, then they will ask you to sketch the graph. And sketch this one and show the geometrical relation of them. Alright, so whenever I want to sketch which have inverse, because inverse can support the one-to-one function. I mean, it can only allow the one-to-one function. That's mean because this is quadratic. Quadratic is basically you have the minimum 3 over 2 and half, right? But because this is not one-to-one function, this is many-to-one function. So if this is many-to-one function, the inverse cannot exist in many-to-one. Alright, and the question also says that x must less than x must less than 3 over 2. So x must less than 3 over 2, then that means I will only take this part of my curve and drawing into it. So this one will be fx. And reflection, and in order to draw the inverse, right, it's always reflection on the line y equals to x. Right, so the first thing I will do, maybe I draw the line y equals to x. Y equals to x is just to cut the x-axis and y-axis into the half. Okay, this one, I will call it y equals to x. This is the equation. Then I will need to draw this thing. So it should be, okay, let's assume this is 1 unit here. So half, okay, let me just, half should be somewhere here, 1 over 2. And then 3 over 2 is 1.5. 1.5 should be somewhere here. So my first coordinate will be here. And then the next thing is I will need to find my vertical intercept. Vertical intercept means x equals to 0, right? Mean y-intercept. Y-intercept over here is the x equals to 0, 0. So my fx will equals to 5. So I have the 0, I have the coordinate 0, 5. Okay, because I will need to know this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it should be somewhere here. So my quadratic is too close for me to actually draw a nice shape here. Okay, it's terrible. So yeah, you should have a, okay, let me write this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of students just don't get it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then I will need to draw a nice curve here. Passing by 5. This is a minimum. Alright, so yeah, I know it's a bit ugly. This is the curve lah. This is your curve. Alright, so when reflection, so what will happen is, yeah, I will not need to draw another one as 1.5 and half here. So here will be half here. Here will be the 1.5. Right, so I will need to from here, and then I will passing by the 5 here. 5. Oops. Yeah, this one is a bit too close. But anyways, I should be able, yeah, you should get something like that lah. You should get something like that. It's so terrible. Okay. Okay, it's very hard for me to draw on the tablet because actually I'm not drawing on the paper. It's drawing on the paper, I should be able to draw it very nice because it seems like a straight line. But it is not the straight line. It's a curve. It's a curve like this. So this one you need to draw a curve like this. Okay, I mean a curve like this. Okay. Okay, let me just draw one last time. Okay, so as long as you get the idea, then it will be good. Okay, that's when you have to pass by this one and then he actually going continue here. Okay, so yeah, this is how you draw the reflection thing. Okay, I think, oops, I realized I see the coordinate wrongly. What's wrong with me? Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, so because 3 over 2 and half 3 over 2, that means my x should be here. Yeah, okay, this one look a lot more nicer. Okay, and then the other one should be reflection of this one. So the other one will be like this. Yeah, so it should cross at the 1, 1 here. I mean, they should intersect at the line 1, 1, 1 here. Yep. Let me just draw it nicely a bit. Okay, the other one, that means this is 1, 1, right? It have to cross the 1, 1 and then passing by the 5 here. Yeah, you should have some line like this. Okay, maybe I use a red color. Okay, as long as you get it. I mean, in the exam you just draw it nicely lah. Alright, so I don't want to waste so much time on drawing. Alright, so okay, using your answer from part 1. Okay, so find the expression for this one. Alright, so state is domain. Okay, so yeah, basically this is quadratic, right? You want to find the inverse, you must take the equation after you did the completing square. So I will take this one to do the, so I will let the y become the whole thing lah. So y equals to 2, x minus 3 over 2 square plus half. So now I want to make x as a subject, alright? Plus half. What am I writing? Okay, of course you can write let fx equals to y, so x will equals to f inverse y. Alright, so I will make so this one I will say y minus half, you can write half over 2 equals to x minus 3 over 2 square. And then square I move here will become square root, and then square root, okay, then I should have the positive and negative, but because the question says the x must less than 3 over 2, right? The question actually gives you this domain, so therefore I will write negative only, because the inverse, it should be smaller than 3 over 2, right? So because if positive, it should be bigger, right? So then I will plus 3 over 2, so my x basically will get 3 over 2 minus square root y minus, let's write 0.5 over 2. So my f inverse x here should be 3 over 2 minus square root x minus 0.5 over 2. Because if I write because square root should have plus minus, but if I write the plus, my value actually will become bigger a bit, because even inverse, right, you have both, right? I mean inverse cannot have the U shape, but I mean if this is quadratic, you have this thing. So but then because I want to get the value which is less than 3 over 2, so I will take the negative part. This one, the value will become bigger, right? This is positive, here will be negative. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. Alright, so okay, as you state the domain, so the domain basically it will be the range of the fx. Okay, but if you can see this one, the domain is basically from half move onward, right? So I can say the x should be bigger or equals to 1 over 2, because for the inverse, the domain is start from here to infinity, right? And this value is 1 over 2, so I know x should be bigger or equals to 1 over 2. Alright, so let's move on to the trigo. So 4 sine this one equal to 3. Okay, this one is basically quite simple. So the first thing is I will need to move my 4 to the other side. Whatever this, because a lot of students see this one, they will panic. This one is just the angle, nothing very special, right? So you'll get 3 over 4. And then definitely I will move my sine to the other side. It will become inverse sine 3 over 4. But because I see the range here is radian, I will change my calculator into the radian. So therefore I have shift sine 3 over 4. Okay, so I will have my first angle 848 radian. Okay, this is this one is basically the angle in the first quadrant. Okay, it's an acute angle. So yeah, so because of 3x, I know later my answer need to, okay, so I teach you some way to actually find, because some student will like so struggle like how many angle they need to find. So because your angle now change into the 3x minus pi over 4, right, that mean the whole range here will change. So what I will do is like this. Alright, so I will multiply 3 and minus pi over 4 for every single one here. So 0 will multiply 3 is the same, so this one will be negative pi over 4. And then this one is basically multiply 3, I should get 3 pi. Okay, 3 pi over 2 and then minus pi over 4. Alright, so because this is decimal, so it's very hard for you to actually, I mean this is in the pi term, so I will change it into decimal to give you some idea. So I will write pi over 4 is basically is negative 0.785. Alright, this one should be 3 pi over 2 minus pi over 4. Yeah, it's 3.927. Alright, so that means you know your angle should within this range. So because of your reference angle, I mean your first angle here is basically 0.848. So even you want to go backwards to get the negative angle 0.848, you also will get the negative 0.848, which is out of the range already, because this one is 0.7, is like larger than this one. So I will not go to the negative area, so I will just make sure my value is around here. Alright, but this one actually, okay, let me find a few more. Sine will get positive in the first and second quadrant. Okay, in the first quadrant we know it's just tap in the calculator, which is the angle. Second quadrant basically is pi minus angle. So I will use a pi to minus this value. So I will use pi to minus 0.848. And then I will actually get 2.2936 maybe. Right, so, and then because I know all the angle here, I will need to plus pi and divide 3. So I will keep on moving in the second round. Second round, that means this one rotates again on the second round, okay? And the second round, this one is just 2 pi, just everything plus 2 pi plus theta. This one will be 3 pi minus theta. So I will go to the 3 round, the first one. I think should be more than enough. 3 round, the second round will be 2 pi plus 0.848. So I will get 7.1312. Right, so because over here, this value later, I still need to plus pi over 4 and divide 3, right? So I will stop here. Of course, if you want to find one more, you can, but 3 pi minus 0.848, I think the value is very big already, so I will just stop it here. Because my answer should less than 3.9. Alright, so that means now all the angle here, I will plus pi over 4 and then I'll divide 3, alright? So 0.848 plus pi over 4. Okay, press equal and then divide 3. The first answer should be 0.544. Okay, if you want 4 decimal, you add just one more 5. But I think 3 decimal should be enough. I mean, yeah. Okay, so the next one is 2.2936 plus pi over 4 and then divide by 3. So it should be 1.026. Okay, it's always in radian. Okay, 7.1312 plus pi over 4. 7.1312 plus pi over pi over 4. Okay, so it should be, then I divided by 3. Okay, this is 2.639. Okay, let me try one more because it's still very far from here. So I will do the 3 pi minus angle here. So it will be 3 pi minus 0.848. Okay, so I will get the 8.5768. Alright, then this value I will plus pi over 4 divide by 3. Oh, it's still within a range, so I will add one more, sorry. So 1, 2, 1. Alright. Yeah, this is how we solve this kind of question. This is the reason why I give you 4 marks, because you need to do so many things. Alright, so okay, let me just move on. Okay, this is 5 marks. I think this one shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, so the first thing is you have to know one formula, which is like tangent square theta plus 1 equals to secant square theta. I mean, you can get this formula at the very beginning. Yeah, it's given, I think so. Let me just scroll up to show you. Yeah, tangent square plus 1 equals to secant square. Alright, so if you got it, then I will just continue here. Yeah, I just write theta over there, write a, but here you have to write y. So this is the reason why I know the tangent square y will equals to secant square y minus 1, isn't it? Because I moved the positive 1 to the other side. So I will substitute this one into here. So this one into secant square y minus 1 plus secant square y equals to 14 secant y plus 3. Okay, you might ask me, why do I know I need to actually substitute this one into it? Because I see everything in terms of second. So if everything in terms of second, right? So if I substitute tangent, I mean I make it into a second, then everything in terms of second, I know I can factorize it easily. Alright, so here I actually get 2 secant square y minus 2 plus secant square y equals to 14 secant y plus 3. Alright, so I will just simplify this one. So 2 secant square y plus 1, I will get 3 secant square y. Alright, this one done. This one I move here, minus 14 secant y. So minus 5 equals to 0. Then I will just factorize it. Because this, I know this is quadratic, so it's 3 secant y. This one should be secant y. In order to get 14, I will write 5 here, 1 here is negative and positive. Right, this is just a normal factorization. So therefore, I know my 3 seconds y plus 1 equals to 0, or my second y minus 5 equals to 0. So I will solve this one first. Second y equals to 5. 1 over cos y equals to 5. You should know second is basically 1 over cos, alright? So cos y will equals to 1 over 5. Alright, then you need to use the calculator to find out what is y. Cos will get positive in first and last. Alright, so the answer from 0 to 360. So shift cos 1 over 5. So you will get, oops, this one in degree. Make sure change into the degree again. So you should get 78.46 or leave in one decimal, 78.5. And then last quadrant is 360 minus answer, right? So I write 360 minus my answer here is basically the next one is should be 281.5. Alright, then I will do the same thing for this one. So this one basically second y will equals to negative 1 over 3. So 1 over cos y will equals to negative 1 over 3. So the cos y will equals to negative 3. But cos cannot less than negative 1. So negative 3, if this one will be rejected. So you only have one. You only have two answers over here. Alright, so yeah, I hope you can understand this trigo. We still have two more. Alright, this video is very long already. Alright, okay, so this one, the diagram show the part of the curve. Alright, so you have part of this curve, and you have line y equals to 5. The curve intersect at ABC. Obviously, everything is stated here. So he asks you to find the integral of this one. It's very easy. Power plus 1 divided by total power. This one is the same thing. 2 plus 1 is 3 divided by 3. This is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2 divided by 2. When there's no x, just add an x for it. No, I just integrate it, sorry. So plus c. Alright, just like this, you easily get 2 marks. Find the area of the rectangle. So in order to find the area of rectangle, what I will do is I need to find out all these intersection point. Alright, I need to find out all these points. So all these points, the y equals to 5, right? So what I will do is I substitute y equals to 5 into this equation. So 5 will equals to the x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x plus 5. 5 and 5 I plus already, so I mean minus 5, I get 0 here. So I will get x cubed. So everything in terms of x, I will just factorize out the x. Alright, so this is x squared plus 4x minus 5. Alright, then I will just factorize it again because I want to find out all the points. This is x plus 5, x minus 1. Okay, so I want to see does it make sense or not. So my x equals to 0, 1 and negative 5. Alright, I mean just let me write according to the order. So this one is equal to 0, the other one is equal to negative 5, this one equals to 1. So I should have 0 is for B, correct. 1 for D, correct. This one should be negative 5. Alright, so I want to find an area of rectangle OEAB. I think the OEAB is the first one. Okay, so OEAB, okay, simple. Is here is 5 unit, here is 5 unit, so it's just OEAB is just 5 multiplied 5. It just equals to 25. Alright, so and then OBCD, I guess it's a second rectangle. OBCD, this is 1 unit is 5, so it's just 5 multiplied 1, which is 5. Of course, you have to show this working at the bottom also. Okay, you have to show this working over there because they give you 4 marks. Okay, you can easily get the things already. Hence, calculate the total area of the shaded region enclosed by the curve and the line. Okay, so you must show all your working. Alright, this one, okay, so something is so important to understand about area of shaded region, because a lot of students will think that they just integrate the curve from negative 5 to 0, then they will get this part, which is wrong. Because of what? Because if you have a curve like this, okay, if x-axis is over here, if you integrate, let's say this is negative 5 to 0, you integrate this curve from negative 5 to 0, you will get the area is from the curve to the x-axis. You will get the whole area here. Okay, so at the same time, if like from here is you integrate from 0 to 1 here, you will get the whole area from 0 to 1 here. So but then you realize this is not the area we want, because we actually cut this one out. So for the first part, if you integrate -5 to 0 here, you have to minus the area of rectangle. Then only you can get this part you want, isn't it? And but for the second part is different. You have to use the area of rectangle here minus you integrate. So you have to use the area of rectangle, just now is 5, right? Minus the part you integrate from 0 to 1. But for the first part, right, I will integrate the y. I will integrate the y from -5 to 0, but I will minus a rectangle, which is 25. And then I'll plus both together. Okay, this is the idea. Alright, because a lot of students, they will think that when they integrate 0 to 1, basically they can get the shaded area, which is wrong. Because whenever you integrate the function, which is the curve, you will always start from the curve to the x-axis. This is the area you find. You will not find any area on the top here. Okay, you will not find any area from the top here. You will only find the area is from the curve to the x-axis. Then they will stop from the x-axis. They will not go beyond the x-axis. Alright, I hope you get this idea, because I'm going to do exactly like what I say at the bottom there. Alright, so basically the first one I just explained just now. I will integrate from -5 to 0 my y, which is the equation, this one, x cubed 4x squared minus 5x plus 5. So which is x cubed plus 4x squared. I just so bad in my memory. Minus 5x plus 5. Minus 5x plus 5. And then I will get the whole area. I will minus the rectangle. Okay, 25. So the whole thing, I just add a bracket for it. And then I will plus the second area, which is after the y-axis. So which is, I will use the 5 to minus, I integrate from 0 to 1. And then the same equation, x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x plus 5. Alright, so then I will solve this one. Because this one I already integrate just now. But let me just write again. So this one is basically x power 4 over 4 plus 4x cubed over 3 minus 5x squared over 2 plus 5, 0, -5, and then minus 25. Right, and then I will need to solve here, and then I will plus something here. So okay, this one you have to, of course, this one you have to make sure is positive value. Alright, so yeah, and then there's so many brackets here. Okay, let me just write. Wait, this is 5. This one is the same thing. So it's x power 4 over 4 plus 4x cubed over 3 minus 5x squared over 2 plus 5x. Where is my x going? So from 1 to 0. I luckily have 0 here because I can save a lot of time here. So I will just like type everything into my calculator, and then I should get, okay, it's fine. I just type one more time. So yeah, this is -5, right? So yeah, just give me few seconds. I just type everything into a calculator. -5 power of 4 over 4 plus 4 -5 power of 3 over 3 minus 5 -5 square over 2 plus 5 multiply -5. Okay, so this one basically, first you sub the 0 into it, you get 0 minus 117 over 12. And then the whole thing you will need to minus 25. Okay, minus negative. So this is the reason why over here we actually get a positive value. Okay, so and then you minus this one, and then I will plus this thing over here. So this is 5 minus the bracket. This one you sub 1 minus 0, so I will sub the 1 into here. This one should be quite fast. 1 over 4 plus 4 over 3 minus 5 over 2 plus 5. Okay, this one should be 49 over 12 minus 0. Alright, so yeah, then I will solve this one. Of course, have the equal sign over here. So this one is 1175 over 12 minus 25. So I will get 875 over 12 plus this one is 5 minus 49 over 12. So it's 11 over 12. So I will plus them, plus 875 over 12. So I basically get 443 over 6, or in decimal, I actually get 73.83. I hope my answer is correct. Alright, so let me move on to the last part, which is function again. So you should know g prime and g inverse is not the same. This one means differentiate the gx. Alright, so I will differentiate this one. So my gx is basically 3 and then 2x plus 1 power of negative 1. I change it into index form. Alright, so if I want to differentiate my gx, basically negative 1 I move in front, and then minus 1 become negative 2. Differentiate inside, I will get 2 here. So which is negative 6 over 2x plus 1 square. And then they ask you to show that it's always negative. Normally until this step I will write a show. But if you want to know why it's always negative, you can realize the denominator is square, right? I will say because the denominator is always positive. Because when denominator is always positive, your numerator is negative. This is the reason why you will always get negative. Alright. And it asks you to find a range of g. So find a range of g basically is very it's not very easy. This one is very hard. Okay, so yeah, this 1 mark I think is out of your syllabus. So but then because I'm the teacher here, I will need to explain about this thing. First thing you have to know, this is reciprocal graph. The reciprocal graph basically will give you the idea something like this. If the 3 is positive, so you will get the idea like this. But then because this is not so simple, this is 2x plus 1, and then you know you cannot touch the line x equals to negative half. Because x equals to negative half, you substitute into this value, you basically get math error. Because x equals to negative half, which is the things will make your denominator become 0, and your denominator cannot become 0. So this one they call asymptotes line. X equals to negative half is asymptotes line. So what will happen over here? I just roughly explain now because it's very hard for you to understand also. So negative half, which is this line, x equals to negative half. So this line is asymptotes line. So if this line is asymptotes line, your graph basically will look like this. Okay, so if you ask me like what is your range, because the question say the domain, the x must bigger than this one, so I have to go this direction. So this is my y, right? This is my x, right? This is my y. So I know that from here onward, what is my range? My g must always bigger than 0. Because this line will get very close to x-axis, but it will not touch the x-axis. How do I know it will not touch the x-axis? If you touch the x-axis, means gx equals to 0, right? If you sub the gx equals to 0 into the equation, you will get back the same thing. Because you will move the 2x plus 1 here and move the 0 at the bottom, you will get a math error again. If you get a math error again, that means it never touched the x-axis. So I know it should be bigger than 0. You don't write equal. You write equal, you got wrong. So yeah, normally in IG they love to do something like this, or IG or O level, which is they will give you in function topic, and 1 to 2 mark is something like out of your syllabus. Of course, if you go to L level, you learn all this. But then IG normally function topic we didn't teach until like so deep. Alright, so if you can't do this one, you just lose 1 mark, you will still get A star. Don't worry. Alright, so the next part over here is the function h is defined for all the x. So by hx equals to kx, blah blah blah. Okay, find the hgx. So basically you know your gx, right? So your gx basically is 3 over 2x plus 1. So now you have to substitute your gx into the hx. So yeah, we just substitute. So hg x will equals to k, and then I substitute this one, 3 over 2x plus 1 plus 3. Alright, so it's just 3k over 2x plus 1 plus 3. Alright, just like that. I guess just 1 mark is very easy. So, and then they will say hg0 equals to 5. That means I know my x over here will become 0. So 0 plus 1 plus 3 equals to 5. So I will solve this one to get k. This is quite easy. So 3k over 1 is just 3k. The 3 I move to the other side, minus 3, I will get 2. So k equals to 2 over 3. Alright, state the domain for hg. Alright, now you need to find the domain for hg. Alright, this is something killing me. Okay, let me just digest a little bit. Okay, so for this kind of hg, right, so I will just sub the thing into it, but it's okay. So if this one is 2 over 3, so this one basically is 2 over 2x plus 1 plus 3. Okay, and you realize okay, this number over here is not so important. So what you need to think is like how to make this one become math error. So if you want to make this equation become math errors, something is always pay attention on denominator, how to make it become 0. Okay, so it's same, x is negative half. So if you plus 3 already, that's mean, but the domain is not affected. State the domain. So I will just say, I guess I will just say x is bigger than negative half. That's all. Because even you understand this graph, right? Okay, let me explain a little bit on the graph side also. Okay, I think because of plus 3, just now you cannot touch the 0, right? Now you have a plus 3 already. So your graph is actually going, and then you have an asymptotes line over here, which is x equals to negative half. So your graph should be somewhere like this. It cannot touch 3. Okay, so if the question asks me about the range here, I will say the hg must be bigger than 3 because it has to be bigger than 3. But domain, I will just copy whatever we are on the top here. Okay, and then you might ask, how come you cannot write x is less than half? Because it seems like it's max less than negative half. But how come you cannot write this one? Because this one have the function also. But then because at the very beginning they say x must be bigger, so you have to follow back this one. So I will just use this one. I will not use this one because this one is not fulfill the whatever at the beginning. Alright, I hope my answer is correct. So if you find any mistake, please let me know, because sometimes I do make mistake, and I'm so sorry about the few mistake on the top on the question above. Anyways, yeah, because I hope this very long video can actually help you understand better about function, about integration, and then about trigo. Yeah, so many function questions here. Right, so and then before I end this video, if you are watching this video today, which is 22nd October, I'm going to make a live discussion tonight. I will take one of the May-June paper for 2017 also, which is I will choose the paper 2 because I know you're having the IGCSE exam tomorrow. So I will make the live tonight on my YouTube channel, which is from 9 p.m. to 11. Okay, so yeah, if you are free, please feel free to join the live. Alright, so anyway, thanks for watching.